Welcome back to Crafted Nest, where simple ideas grow into beautiful realities. Today, we'll explore the art of turning ordinary stones and wire into something extraordinary, living designs that breathe, bloom, and last for years. From peaceful meditation corners to glowing night lanterns, every Gabion creation holds a story of patience and beauty. If you love calm, creative spaces that connect you with nature, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community of dreamers, makers, and gardeners who believe that beauty can be built by hand, one stone at a time. There's something soothing about creating life inside stones, a contrast of strength and softness, of metal wire cradling tender leaves. Gabion planters tell that story beautifully. With just a wire mesh, a few stones, and soil, you can turn an ordinary corner into a living sculpture of green. Imagine early morning light touching your herbs, mint releasing its cool fragrance, basil glowing under dew. The Gabion cages, once cold and industrial, become frames of nature's artwork. They are solid yet gentle, a testament to balance, structure meeting life. Building one isn't hard. You start with a mesh box, fill its base with gravel or small stones for drainage, then layer soil above. Place your herbs or flowers and water them slowly, watching droplets sink into the roots. The rocks around hold warmth from the sun, keeping moisture steady throughout the day. You can use reclaimed stones, broken bricks, or even pebbles collected from your last river walk. Every piece carries a story, adding personality to your garden. The best part? Gabion planters last for years and require almost no maintenance. Each time you step outside, the mixture of stone and leaf greets you, rugged yet tender, simple yet wise. It's more than a planter. It's a reminder that beauty often grows from the simplest hands, under the gentlest light. There's a quiet beauty and strength in structures that not only hold the earth, but also tell stories of resilience. Gabion retaining walls are exactly that, where purpose meets poetry. Once used for civil engineering, now they stand in gardens, merging stone and soil into a living sculpture. Picture a sloped garden, once uneven and wild. Now, with layers of Gabion walls, it becomes a terraced masterpiece. Each cage, filled with stones of different shapes and hues, feels alive under sunlight. The gaps between stones welcome moss, tiny blooms, and creeping vines, proof that even hard materials can cradle life. Building one doesn't require perfection, only patience. Begin by measuring your slope. Set the wire cages firmly at the base. Fill them with locally found stones, rough, imperfect, but beautiful. Stack each layer like a quiet rhythm, one stone at a time. The result isn't just structural, it's soulful. The walls prevent erosion, but they also invite new growth. Rain trickles through gently, feeding the roots above. The stones keep the soil warm and stable, creating harmony between the man-made and the natural. Over time, your Gabion wall weathers gracefully. The metal dulls, the stones soften, and the plants weave themselves in. It becomes less a wall and more a part of the earth itself, enduring, humble, and alive. So when you stand before it, you're not just looking at a barrier. You're seeing art born from patience and gravity, a collaboration between your hands and nature's will. There's a quiet joy in sitting somewhere your own hands have built, where every plank, every stone, holds a piece of your time. Gabion benches are that kind of joy, grounded, honest, and beautifully simple. The combination feels poetic. Stones whisper permanence, while the wooden top brings warmth. Together, they create balance. A Gabion bench can be as short or long as you wish. Start with a sturdy wire cage. Fill it with stones you love, smooth river rocks, weathered granite, or even recycled rubble from old projects. Then, place a wooden slab above. Teak, mahogany, or any reclaimed board will do. The result is a seat that feels alive in daylight. When morning sun touches it, the stones glisten faintly, When evening comes, it holds the day's warmth. You can rest there with a cup of coffee, listen to birds, or just breathe quietly. Over time, moss might grow between stones, giving your bench an aged soul. The wood may change color under rain and sun, deepening in tone, a reminder that beauty matures with time. And in that corner of your garden, your Gabion bench becomes more than furniture. It's an anchor, a place for conversations, laughter, reflection, built not from luxury, but from patience and heart. So sit down. Let the solid stones hold your weight, and the wood embrace your rest. You'll realize that comfort doesn't come from softness alone, but from knowing that you've built something that will stay quiet, strong, and forever part of your garden. Evenings become stories when fire is near. A Gabion fire pit turns a simple yard into a place where time slows, where the sound of crackling wood and the scent of smoke call people closer. Its warmth made visible, framed by stone and steel. Creating one is simpler than it seems. Start with a circular or square wire cage, your Gabion basket. Line the inside with non-flammable materials or a fire-safe bowl, then fill the outer gaps with stones. The stones hold heat gently, glowing under the fire's light like captured embers of the earth. You can use river rocks, basalt, or old broken masonry. Around it, place simple wooden benches or reclaimed chairs. Add gravel underfoot to keep the area dry. When the fire burns, light dances on every surface. The stones, your faces, the leaves swaying nearby. In that glow, conversations become softer. The night feels nearer. The garden, which by day was green and bright, becomes golden and alive again under the flicker of flame. You realize this small circle of heat isn't just design, it's memory in motion. A Gabion fire pit is strong, safe, and lasting. It doesn't demand perfection, only care. Each stone reflects warmth, each spark mirrors a thought. And when the fire fades to embers, it leaves behind a silence that feels complete. Sometimes, building beauty isn't about what shines. It's about what gathers people together, stone by stone, flame by flame. Water has a way of softening even the hardest stones. In a Gabion water feature, that meeting becomes poetry, where movement meets stillness, and the garden learns to breathe. Imagine standing by a pond made from wire, stone, and patience. The water slides down gently over the rocks, whispering in sunlight. The sound is steady but calm, like a heartbeat hidden in the earth. With just a simple pump, some stones, and a Gabion frame, you can turn an empty corner into a sanctuary of sound and reflection. Begin with your base, a wire mesh cage filled with stones of varying sizes. Allow space for water to weave between them. Add a pump to recycle the flow, and let the surface water spill over naturally. Surround it with moss, reeds, or small ferns. Let nature finish the edges for you. The beauty of a Gabion fountain or pond lies in its humility. It doesn't try to be perfect. It just exists flowing. The stones hold strength. The water offers grace. Together, they balance one another. Even in the heat of the afternoon, the air feels cooler here. Birds come closer, dragonflies hover, and the space turns alive with quiet life. Every ripple tells a story of patience, craft, and calm. And every drop that falls reminds you that simplicity is not emptiness, it's depth waiting to be noticed. So when you hear that soft trickle outside, know that it's not just water. It's serenity, built by your own hands. Paths are more than routes, they're invitations. Every step along a garden walkway tells you where to look, where to pause, where to breathe. Gabion pathways give those steps both structure and soul. Picture a quiet morning after rain. The stones in your Gabion edge and glisten like tiny mirrors, catching the sun between blades of grass. The wire cages stand steady, defining the path while blending with the earth. Each one was placed by hand, humble, practical, yet quietly elegant. Building Gabion edging doesn't need perfection. You create small rectangular cages from mesh, fill them with local stones or recycled bricks, and place them neatly along your walkway. The gaps let air flow, the stones allow drainage, and the pattern brings rhythm to your garden. As you walk, there's a gentle crunch underfoot, the sound of gravel shifting softly, a grounding sound, almost meditative. The edges frame your plants and flowers, keeping soil in place, guiding the eyes naturally from one corner to another. Over time, moss will settle in, and the stones will darken with rain. It ages beautifully, like an old poem still being written by weather and time. And when sunlight returns, the whole path glows again. Simple, clean, alive. That's the secret of Gabion edging. It makes even the smallest path feel like a journey worth taking. Because in gardens, just like in life, every step is more meaningful when it's shaped by your own hands. A wall can divide, but it can also embrace. Gabion fences are proof of that gentle paradox, strong yet open, protective yet beautiful. In a world of metal gates and concrete barriers, they whisper a softer kind of strength. Imagine standing in your garden, sunlight spilling across a fence made of wire and stone. It doesn't block the world, it filters it. Air moves freely through tiny gaps, the sound of birds still passes, and light dances between stones. You feel protected, but never closed in. Building one is easier than it looks. Set up wire mesh panels vertically, anchor them with sturdy posts, and fill the space with stones, or experiment with glass, driftwood, even old bricks. Each layer becomes a signature, turning a simple wall into a sculpture of your making. With time, nature joins in. Moss and vines start to weave through the mesh, softening its edges. The wall becomes part of the landscape, less a boundary, more a frame for the life within. And when the wind passes through, it hums softly, like a reminder that openness can coexist with strength. A Gabion fence isn't just a line between spaces. It's an invitation to look closer, to see that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about honesty. The rawness of stone, the patience of wire, the light that finds its way through. So, let your garden walls breathe. Let them tell stories of earth, air, and time, and remind you that even barriers, when built with heart, can be beautiful. Some gardens speak softly, while others sing. Gabion sculptures belong to the second kind, the ones that tell stories not through color, but through form and feeling. They are art made of earth itself, wire, stone, and imagination woven together. Each sculpture begins as a simple idea, a spiral, a globe, a shape inspired by something you love. Then comes the mesh, the stones, and your hands arranging each piece like a note in a melody. No two Gabion artworks are the same. Each carries the rhythm of its maker. When sunlight hits the stones, shadows shift across the garden floor, turning the space into a living canvas. Birds land on it, leaves brush its sides. Rain leaves glistening trails that trace its shape. The sculpture changes every day, breathing with the weather. Creating one doesn't require mastery, only curiosity. Gather leftover stones, pebbles, or even glass shards from old projects. Form them into a pattern, or let randomness guide you. The beauty of Gabion art lies in its imperfection, in how roughness meets intention. In time, vines may wrap around it, moss may bloom within the gaps, and the sculpture becomes one with its surroundings. It stops being made and starts being grown. A Gabion sculpture doesn't just decorate your yard, it deepens it. It reminds you that creation doesn't need polish to move the soul, only sincerity. Every garden deserves a heartbeat, and sometimes that rhythm begins in stone. A wall can hold more than bricks. it can hold life. In a Gabion vertical garden, every stone, wire, and root becomes part of a living mosaic, strength and softness intertwined. Picture a narrow space once bare and dull. Now, a Gabion wall rises, filled with stones that cradle pockets of soil and green. Ferns unfurl gently from their nests, herbs sway in the breeze, and vines spill downward like waterfalls of color. The wall breathes, exhaling freshness into the air. Building one doesn't need much space or money. Begin with a simple wire frame, fill it with stones for weight, and leave gaps where planters can fit. Use recycled bottles, small pots, or fabric grow bags hidden among the stones. Every plant becomes a brushstroke, painting life onto gray. As days pass, roots find their way deeper, connecting stone to soil. Morning dew gathers on leaves. The scent of mint, basil, or jasmine fills the air. Even the smallest breeze makes the whole wall shimmer like a green curtain. In time, the Gabion vertical garden becomes a quiet companion, cooling the air, calming the mind. Birds may rest upon it, butterflies may visit. It teaches that beauty isn't always about expansion. Sometimes, it's about rising gracefully in the space you already have. A Gabion green wall is a poem of balance, strong, simple, alive. And every time you look at it, you'll see how nature always finds a way to climb toward the light. A garden doesn't need to be large to feel abundant. It just needs to rise closer to your hands. Gabion raised beds let your garden grow upward, where beauty and practicality meet in balance. Imagine standing on warm soil, surrounded by beds framed in stone and wire. Inside, vegetables and flowers grow side by side. Lettuce, basil, marigolds, each leaf catching sunlight as if smiling toward you. The Gabion walls, filled with stones, hold the earth steady. Their roughness contrasts with the softness of life they contain. Building one is simple. Choose a spot that receives full light. Form a wire cage to your desired shape. Rectangle, circle, or even tiered levels. Fill the sides with stones for strength, and the center with rich compost and soil. The stones hold warmth from the sun during the day and release it slowly at night, nurturing your plants naturally. The result is not just order, but energy, a rhythm between mineral and organic, stillness and growth. When it rains, water drains perfectly through the gaps. When the sun returns, the garden glows again, fresh and alive. Each Gabion raised bed becomes a small world, self-contained yet connected. You can kneel beside it, touch the leaves, smell the soil, and feel the pulse of life continuing quietly. In a world that moves fast, building something that grows slowly is an act of peace. And with every seed you plant inside those stone walls, you build more than a garden. You build patience, beauty, and renewal.